morning, and how is everybody doing this fine day? How incredible has this weather been? Let me just make a couple of adjustments. So move in May is the big message. And I think if you read that post that I posted this morning about tumours, it's so important for us to understand the why. I think that's when we're far more likely to actually do things, when it makes complete sense to us. Why are you moving? What does movement even actually mean? And what are the benefits of it? And I think one of the big things is movement doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and run 10K. Absolutely not. It's about moving in specific ways to achieve different results, I suppose, depending on what it is that you're looking for. So today's one was really key because I just read that post about the lymph and the liver, which obviously, as we know, and a lot of people in the kind of naturopathic world, we realise if our routes of elimination, if things aren't getting out the body, then they back up, very much like if the hole in the bath or the shower is full of hair and toys, then the water can't get out and it backs up. And that's, I'm simplifying it obviously, but that is literally what happens inside our body. So the big six is just such a brilliant habit to get into. And I'm still lax. I remember about it some days and I don't others. And I think, my meditation practice is like, that's it. You do that. As soon as you wake up, you do your meditation. You have to find a way to put these things in. And now that we've got phones, we can put a wee alarm in and it just says big six. It takes literally 2 minutes to do. But I wanted to talk to you in a little bit more detail because I think what's really important is the understanding why and the what. So with the big six, we start off here, and it's just behind the jaw. And this is, we know anybody that's got lymph issues, mumps, etc., this area can swell up, and that's the body telling you something, that's working on infections, etc. So the lymphatic system, so we look to just rub that about 8 times and then just tap. But if you're concerned about your lymphatic system, you can spend more time there. You can get in round the ears and round your neck and just give yourself and it's way nicer if somebody else does it. But sometimes we just don't have the time, money, or luxury, or a partner, or a friend that will do that for us. So we can really move our own lymph. Now, there's always this thing in beauty, because obviously I used to do facials, and it was always about moving everything towards the heart. And the reality is, when we move the lymph in any way, the body will start to empty the drains. So then we've got the collarbone. And again, this can very often get puffy and stagnant around here because nobody ever really taught us about moving our own body in this specific way. And what I love about Qigong and the big six is that it doesn't matter how well you are, you can still do this and you can move this. And as you're doing it, think about really cleaning and clearing up this system. Because not only can we move things physically, we can move it with this too. So when we're doing this, just see the lymphatic system cleansing and clearing. Okay. Now, another bottleneck, of course, is in at this shoulder joint. And again, we go to Mindy Pelt's stuff. And your body shape definitely plays a part. I carry all my body fat up above my waist. That's when I put on weight. That's where it goes. I've always had a big chest and, much more fatty around that area. Some people, it's the complete opposite. They're very slim at the top there and they carry more of their weight in their hips and their butt. Doesn't matter. But if you are carrying more, if you have a lot more skin and fatty tissue around here, then it's really important. Again, you can just do this. This is going to help, and this is part of the big 6. We say about 8 times in and then just tap, but you can't get in there. And, you know, if you haven't been well, if you've had lymph nodes removed, probably more important to really think about moving things through. It's, you know, I liken it to like a flowing burn in the garden that has a water exchange into your pond. So the water's continuously getting cleaned and cleared and cleaned and cleared. Whereas when the rain stops, and there hasn't been rain for a while, the rain stops and the pond gets stagnant and it starts to smell a bit, and things start to thrive there that you don't want in your garden, and it attracts all sorts of other things. And that's what happens in the body. Simple as that. So you can really bring that and feel, how does it feel? And just move that around. Without even getting out your bed. And just tap that over. So just, again, if you just kind of visualize this as cleaning and clearing. And the same in the other side. And then again, just get in around that area. Now, there was always this big thing about if you've had cancer or have cancer, not to have a massage, which I have to say never really rang true with me. I mean, don't get me wrong, having a massage can put you in a detox. And if you're already having a lot of toxic treatment, that can make you feel worse. I absolutely get that. But really what we're talking about is, regardless of what treatment and drugs and stuff you're taking, is that you can help the body move things through. And that's really the most important thing. So again, just really seeing that area, feel it clearing up. And then we go into the belly. And again, it's just like, just rubbing up and down that area. About 8 times, and then just patting. And again, just think of all the internal organs underneath there that are doing all this work for us, even when we don't even know. And then down at the groin. So yeah, just in the groin area. And again, if you have more kind of fatty tissue around there, you can work on that yourself. It can just be as simple as just rubbing across that bottleneck area and just tapping, or you can go into it and with a lot more vigor and really move things on. And then the back of the knees. So just exact same thing, just moving the back of the knees, and you're just basically waking the body up, telling the body, yep, I'm here, I'm alive, I get you, I'm helping you, I'm here to help instead of to hinder. And that's really it, simple as that. And, you know, there's all sorts of different massage things that you can do up and down the arms that probably seem like, is that going to make any difference? Why? Because it's easy, because we've been kind of told everything's got to be really hard work. And again, just on your chest area and your collarbone, thymus, so just feel. It's just such an easy and good wee habit to get into. So the other thing I wanted to do this morning as well was, so you can just stick your fingers in your own ears. Now this is for the vagus nerve and the nervous system. Because if you're of a certain age, you could wake up feeling anxious just because blood sugars and the dawn raid that menopausal women can get, where you can get woken with a sort of anxiety as the cortisol levels increase, and it's like, woo, what's that? And especially if you don't understand, there's just been a massive chemistry change in the body, and the body's getting woken up. It can be scary. You can get a fright at first. So to calm that down, you can just put your fingers in your ears and just gently pull down. And again, when you're doing this, feel. What can you feel? So just, and then of course we can put the 4-7-8 breath into this. Hold and breathe out. And in. Hold and out. keep going. And now in the earlobes, breathe in, hold, and out. Again, in, hold, and out. And just check in, how do you feel? You probably feel calmer, just that slight adjustment. So if you've not been well, if you've got chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, any of the autoimmune issues have just not been feeling great, I think there's been colds and stuff going around, these are very simple things that you can do to help the body process what's going on in there. There's lots of other things that you can do as well that I'm going to be talking about, not in this series of movement in May, but I just want it to be clear that it doesn't have to be a half marathon. You don't have to be thinking of doing something particularly difficult and something that you're basically not going to do or shouldn't be doing, because it's really interesting with chronic fatigue. You can push yourself a little bit, but then you can exhaust yourself. So really, what you want to be doing is you want to be giving the body the time and the energy to heal, rather than to keep you exercising. So only you can decide what's making you feel better. But these simple things that you can do regardless. So I want it to be inclusive. I'm going to have some people coming on doing more vigorous exercises, and we'll do the Tabata, the 4-minute workout as well. Because top 2 reasons we don't do any movement is we're too tired and we don't have time. So 4 minutes can be done, so we'll do that too. Now the last thing I want to show you, so you can just simply change the nervous system by gently communicating via the ears and pulling on the earlobes, the 4-7-8 breath, which is moving things, the big 6, dead simple, fast, 3. Now the other one is to calm the nervous system, is the moving the eyes. So just having your hands clasped behind your head like this. And now this, I find this quite hard, and I know some people do. It depends, again, if you've ever done it before or not. And just looking to your left elbow. Now keeping your head straight forward, so it's the eyeball you want to be. And again, feel, what can you feel inside the body? Because remember, that vagus nerve, this is what we're moving now, wanders all the way down to your coccyx, into your internal organs. So you're looking to hold the eyes in that position for about 30 seconds. And relax. So again, it can feel quite strange if you're not used to doing this. Then the other side. There's a stretch going into the eyeballs. So really, and you're not going to see your elbow, you'll see it in your peripheral vision. So keep your elbow in sight in your peripheral vision, and keep your eyes turned to the side as much as you can. If you can't do it properly, it's fine, just practice. Remember, if you've not done these things before, they do feel weird, and you're like, oh, I can't do this. Yes, you're learning. You're learning. And relax. And just feel such simple ways to move certain parts of the body to change how you feel. And that is wild medicine. So that's what we're all about. Start using, I mean, the eyes are, there's actually a saying now, the actual eyeballs kind of outside the body. It's on, so this is your eyeball on this nerve. And, we don't think about the power of how we look and how we look after our eyes in terms of how we feel. And given that so much of what we see is influencing what we're feeling, or what we think we're seeing is influencing what we're feeling, it's really, really important to keep the eye muscles really strong as well. So just to finish off, we're going to do up to the left, to the right, down, up, to the left, 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 down, and across and back that way. Down, up, across and down, up, across, down and across, down, up, up, up. And then just rolling the eyes one way and then rolling them the other way. And then stop. Dead simple, very quick. Again, just reminding the body, yeah, we still want to use this. We still want to have great eyesight. We want to have strong eye muscles. We want to calm the vagus nerve. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day. Chat soon.